Hello, Madam Asismo come Africa Professor one, Mama Space, my chief linguist, African Professor and Kasama Samba African Professor Unfiltered. But my dad subscribe share hit notification bell with the video for be at 2 on Sabakabi. Ne like it, ne make sure say on second video be forward it, we share with friends and family, colleagues, everybody. And that's the Christmas present, and I say New Year present you can give me. You get the video, but more than forward it or contact list will now for ne unuanu no be anti one more time we African Professor one. Now my chief linguist African Professor and because and then come up with for elections there happy in Ghana December the 7th. The question being on person I say why did many Ghanaians vote against their own self-interest? 2024 election results were the most useless so far in Ghana. You may say the 2024 election results were the most useless, if not stupid, results. And now, until the question is, why did many Ghanaians vote against their own self-interest? Now, I'm saying, say, if you make me try, I will try my best to explain why many Ghanaians seem like many Ghanaians vote against their own self-interest. There's a lot of research over research, that point to the fact that sometimes when you live in a society and that's a country where you have, say, two major political parties, just like United States, like Ghana, United States, Republicans and Democrats. And to Ghana as well, your two major parties, MPP or NDC. And to say here MPP and NDC, let me explain why it seems like many Ghanaians vote against their own interests. It's either MPP or NDC. And when people, once they are exposed to two only party system, say party will be transfer kakra, nese and you may be kosuna people start to be, look as if a lot of people have been marginalized. That as far as the economic cake, is concerned, yeah, they don't feel say, oh, and Kofono enjoy, we know they almost enjoy be into saying now more develop some sense of hatred be and answer anger be within them. And here they are, they have two-party system. And a lot of them, most of them, either they belong to MPP or NDC. And once MPP screwed up, then it becomes the NDC. When the NDC screwed up, it becomes MPP. See, and what I'm trying to say is that when people start voting for only two-party system, two major party system, they start, seeing themselves. They start seeing themselves as part of the identity. And monk say, oh, she said, Matua man, me NDC, no matter what. And that's what I identify myself with, or affiliate myself with. And it doesn't even matter what kind of policies NDC or MPP, have. What is most important to these voters, these people who have identified themselves with either MPP or NDC, is they don't even look at the party manifesto and I say party new policies. All that they know is to vote either MPP or NDC. Nti ama ebema NDC and as MPP become part of the identity, then they develop a sense of belonging to either MPP or NDC. And the policies, policies and as platform party platform and as a manifesto, will be secondary. They just relinquish that to this to the backseat. That is not what is important to them. The most important to them is the identification with the party. They identify themselves with either NDC or MPP. And this happen. And the Basano, omu interest in Ukraine, omu say, me pay good a certain be a constant flow of electricity. No doom something at the it doesn't even matter. Say one party buyer doom some the town, they doom so buy and still they don't even care. Because all that they care is, I'm MPP or me NDC. It doesn't matter what kind of policy they have. That's what it is. Me say. So the more people get used to two-party system, it make them, the country seem like it divides into two. One group, goes to this side, and the other group go to that side, and they all develop a sense of belonging to either of the party. And at that point, party policies, it's not even relevant to them anymore. what is important to them is the fact that they belong to this party or party A or party B, NDC or NPP. So we intellectual analysis or intellectual debate. I can say you may not agree with me, and I don't expect you to agree with me. But my point is, you have every right to, say, obey me. I can interact me point of view near that, but in a very civil. And yes, I did the attempt because I'm not insulting anybody. And to buy my platform on the self best out the attempt did nearby. And I'm also when you answer why you're so limited, you can't even, debate, engage in intellectual debate, and that's a very, analytical debate. I won't even stoop to your level, and not some removal commenting from my. That's all. That's all I would do. I'm sorry, some more can make what you say. That's one thing. Party identification. Once you get used to one party, then you tend to even relegate your interest, your own interest, to the background. And that is where a lot of people, if you look at it, look at it, say, it's so useless because think about it. A lot of these so-called youth in Ghana were crying, were yearning for change. Now the question is, into Mahama, former President Mahama, only that change, I got will change, really change agent. Because my point is that Wabasuda, Wabedi 6 years. Almost a lot of Ghanaians, the accomplishment and in achievement, and I said the leadership starting BBR. Is it's an open book, and everybody knows what Mahama capabilities and the leadership, start the first the time, doing so was, was the top of the line, was right there. And a lot of people don't like doing so. But the question is the passion and the time, they doing so is so severe. Sometimes 2 weeks, a week, or wherever. That's the same person. These Ghanaians voted for him to come and change things. See, so it's so ironic. It's so the paradox here is unthinkable. See, so why did many Ghanaians vote against their own interests? Huh? Why did they vote against their own interests? And that's another factor. Another factor is sometimes too, because social influence. So okay, say social media, your parties, for social media, on social media, they always propagating and talking about, in favor of one particular party over the other. And to think about it, if you are incumbent government party, next mistakes, kakra bi making some mistakes near the idea, then voter apathy setting, and then buyer's remorse. People start, they feel some remorseful and I say regret. Say, oh, me we could come to my party here. Look at what is going on. My transfer 8 years. We if you never said the name of Siko, name and Koye. And basa no, people tend to forget about the fact that because our party, even though say be a policies have been put in place to be it will take time for take a year or two for them to see the benefit of that policies. It doesn't even matter as long as a woman artist, they start experiencing some kind of bumpy roads economically any other. It wouldn't even matter till they have to vote against you. But the question is, say, me especially me concern more, and as me main is on the youth in Ghana, no more yearning so vigorously for change. The point is, some more change party. Why didn't you try somebody new that represent real change? Will be to say shedder. Now, for the to be a mobile, everyone say, when you ban be brain, because the reason said that ya ban be brain, and I said the vote from baby when you one, and I said to you because man to a man, moon is a young PPI NDC, and then go for so much for the past 30 something years, the past 3 decades, the party, power is shift between these two parties, MPP and NDC. Tell me, I rule Ghana for 30 years now, Muslim pay change, and conform me and rule for the past years, You don't see any change. You guys, more complaining or maybe Ghana, you've more complain. Do you see the change you want from either NDC or MPP? Then, if you don't see that change, why did you vote for them? See, that is what I'm saying. Why did many Ghanaians vote against their own interests? Muslim pay change. Saa two parties, me and for the past decade, 3 decades, omo na rule Ghana. Muslim who change biya the same old, same old. Nti mo free from frying pan to fire, and I'm from frying pan to fire, from fire to frying pan. What is the point? I don't see the logic here. What is the rationale here? That's what I'm trying to understand. And you know, like I said, 2024 election results, were the most useless. Because when you talk on one hand, you talk about change. More change. And then Kofono, mo say for the past month, and when you say, because Mahama no 2016, and I'm no free, was say, and Yama Wayan for the past 6 years near that, and Wakuma say Ghana. When you real change, the leadership you're poor, corruption, doing so, no money, a whole bunch of time, no mututiano, big time. And then the next 8 years, must on a bit my change Ghana. What is the point? More Senegal, or real change, they brought somebody different from the mainstream political parties. That is exactly what change represents. Mainstream political parties, they forego the mainstream political parties in Senegal, and they get a change. They elected a new young youthful leader, a youth leader or representing the youth. That's what they did. Now here Mahama is getting to 70 years. Akufo-Addo is 80. See, but Sheda was in the 40s. More youth no so more pay change. Why didn't me Sheda supporter? But some more pay change there. That's some kind of criminal hypocrites. Now when you don't speak from both sides of your mouth there. I mean the youth no American. Both sides of your mouth, kasa from both sides of your mouth there. Then the real change in Mahama shouldn't have been the change. Oh, you see, and they can say that something different. And then the man said, "Money up, some will change." And then the man said, "Why did many Ghanaians vote against their own self-interest?" And another thing, I'm saying, Saad in the Suban said, sometimes, and I say, social influence and groupthink. So groupthink, because a groupthink is a groupthink. I said, social media, and then someone can di particular party biata na can di biata ni ada Ghana for so omubufu a lot of them they don't even reason, they don't even think. The critical thinking, is through the windows. A lot of people can't think critical. And to the umbetino social media will be conforming to baby cancer who me ada di atam no. Na yomu de. And because of that, it just blind them to some of the obvious facts of life. And that's some idea a better align with their own interests, because of social influence and that's social media, what is happening there in that space, And people tend to be group thinking. They start developing that group thinking syndrome. Now, because of group thinking, I say, Obiase MPP, omo se omano, and I say, any man koye, say ni, Obia, they all think the same way, Yabuafu, Buafu. Then they tend to, it seems like they all tend to think in the same direction. And then they just say, it doesn't even matter what their own interest is, what their own interests are or is. And once everybody, because think about it, don't underestimate the influence of social media. It's so powerful. And it can just shape people thinking and then put them in that categories, that group think mindset and bandwagon. They all think alike in some way because voter apathy setting, and then a friend's a bias remote setting, and then then right there, all these factors conspire to put people in that group thinking mode. And then they all seem to go on one direction. And that is what sometimes make a lot of people, vote against their own interests. Group think. I will be a coha and because you said the name now for dear term say I'm on for some. And I'm going to so yeah, political choices, say about to another voting, it can be driven by, complex interplay of motivation, a lot of factors. And the Americans and the feelings, and the beyond, no, and I make a missing voting. No. Say when we make choices and not voting, no, seriously, it's motivated by a whole bunch of factors. Feelings, being anger, bias, remorse, voter apathy. Some bias, remorse, and the beyond American, what are the no MPP are better now 8 years. Nneɛma a ɛkɔ so no yɛ de sɛ deɛ ɛnu ɛho nti ana ama amanfoɔ anger setting na apathy nti no that's what it is. A lot of people, if you look at the voting pattern in Ashanti region, it just tells you a lot about what happened. Voter apathy is there because bias remorse were there, and a lot of expectations what Ghanaians and I said so part of the country expect from the ruling government. Maybe it didn't meet their expectations because of that. They just and I can say the political choices and as voting, is driven and as is driven by a complex, interplay of motivations and feelings and interpretations. And then each of the voters has, we all, voters also has a unique, experience in the world around them. And all those factors, can also, motivate them and also push them to go and vote against their own interests. We share and you man Ghana for pay. Any other and think how share and can share that no other and I represented that change, But why? And I can say, that and come a crab meeting me person number quite too much into no. Question be so the babantino. Ultimately, so why are Ghanaians many Ghanaians vote against their own interests? Because, Americans say group thinking and make them prioritize consensus over critical analysis of issues. And, because of that, and sanity, and I don't want to make it so complicated. Me try some me video, me and short, and I said me managing it so complicated. Even though it's a kind of for pepper for, I don't believe in that part. I try my best to, me come across. Because until one more time, we African professor on fit. Subscribe, share with friends and family. I'll talk to you another time. Have a great day. Bye.